This is basic requirement 1, and you're going to use some publicly available data, and that means you can't make it up yourself. So go, we'll do it now. We'll go to the CSO and we'll find some data, and then make sure you've got enough points. You'll notice I've scaffolded this out into a sort of like tick list for you. It doesn't say anywhere in the brief that it must contain numbers, right? That's my friendly advice to you from my experience of watching students suddenly realize that they can't graph chicken sandwich, which is data, but how you do a scatter plot of that unless you have a count, you're just making your life complicated, right? So choose wisely, right? Let's open up the CSO website and we'll find some data. All right, I've gone to data.cso.ie, and the first thing that's coming up here was like schools. How boring. But I would like to know if I have a job in a few years with the population going down. So, well, in Ireland, is it? Anyway, the birth rate is pretty shocking. So, pupils enrolled in secondary school. My friend Tony's working in China, and he just no kids showed up for his preschool. They were just like, oh, you don't have classes here because of the government policy 10 years ago. We regret that, and now there's no kids. Is that crazy? So is that going to happen here? Let's find out. I'm not going to tick any particular academic year. All right. I'm just going to see what kind of data I get here, but I'm going to click one of those, right? So that's fine. And then I go down to the bottom and I press download. Can I download as a CSV? Yes, please. That's what I want to do. I open this up and let's just see what I've got. All right. Okay. All schools. All right. They have a religion column. They have some years. I want the years and I want this, but I don't necessarily want Carlow, Dublin. I think I'm going to narrow this down just to Dublin City. Do you know what I mean? Or yeah, just because that's not nice data. So it's all right, but it's going to take a lot of Python to sort that out. So let's just narrow down my search range here. I do want the different years. Let's just try Dublin City, just Dublin City only, right? So then I do it again. And what do I want? It's going to give me all the different religions. Just all schools, just maybe. Okay. Right, that's fine, except I'm not sure this is quite enough data. I mean, what I could do is I could do over more years or something like that, or expand this out. So yeah, all right. And this could be fine. It's just that I would like more like previous data. And when I clean this out, I might have stuff missing. I really want to be able to graph this versus something else. So I can now go and get data on something else. So I can look at the number of students in a school versus the price of a chicken fillet roll. If I can find that data, which can I just say, having searched for it, you can't. Or you'd have to, yeah, it's scant. It's hard to find. I'm sure that people had chicken fillet rolls in the 80s, but I don't remember eating them back in the 80s. I thought they were relatively new craze. So I could just try maybe. What would happen if I did 2 of these? Do you know what I mean? But I think what I'm going to do now anyway, let's see if this is any better. Yeah, it kind of has, like, it's now just changed halfway through. Do you know? So what I could do really, what I could kind of make this here. See South Dublin? I could put this here for South Dublin. Are they the same years, presumably, are they? What I'm doing here is just a little bit of pre-processing, and that's, I would imagine, totally fine. Okay? I'm not the boss of the SEC. I can't tell you what the police are going to say, but I think it's probably fine to do it this way. So I could get maybe one more school. I think even what I've got there now, right? Ideally, here's my ideal data, right? So this was for Dublin City. And the other one was for South Dublin. Ideally, what I want is this and then just the years. Do you know what I mean? So like completely get rid of this, completely get rid of this. That would be my ideal data set, is if I've just got some years, and you know, oh, I accidentally put that there. Okay, what I might do now is I might go and find the price of something and graph it. So let's say I go back to the CSO website and I find another data set by just going back and yada yada yada, and I find something that's like, again, the price of something. So I might find the price of milk or the price of butter over a course of time. And let's say the problem is, though, I've got that euro symbol in it. So euro symbol, which looks like this, right? And in my data here, I've got like cost of chicken roll. In my data, this is from 2018. Now, believe it or not, I have gathered data on this. I have under some dirty data. Here we go. The price of a chicken fillet roll. Pine chicken average internet speed. Here we go. Okay. Now, it's not quite the same. See, I've got a lot of euros in there. Yeah. So what I might just show you here is if I've got, I don't think these years are exactly right. What's it from 2018 onwards? Is that what the data is? Let me just see. Yeah. So there's my chicken fillet roll price. I'm going to just make sure that I actually had. Now, this is the next thing. Like, am I just dirtying the data and then making it clean again? I was missing that data point here. So actually, maybe I'll just say like no data there, you know. Okay. I think this looks like a pretty good data set. It's got something for me to clean out. It's got those euro symbols. Euro symbols, it's got 2 columns of data, and it's got the years. Look, it doesn't have to be like this. You can have a lot more columns, you can have a lot more rows. I probably could use like a lot more rows than this, maybe down here, just to make sure my graph doesn't look like it's got 4 points. But I think it's fine. So what am I going to target here? I'm going to see if I can get Python to remove all of the euro signs to deal with this no data thing, you know? And you might find that there are like some conditions or comments on a certain thing where it will say like star in this year there's no data, and you may have to remove that. Okay, so let's look at that in a Python program that could deal with this. The first thing you need to do here is I need to go and save this. Save it as your like a CSV file. So I'm just going to call it, make sure it is a CSV here, not Microsoft, just regular CSV. Okay, I just saved it as data, it's fine. There you go. All right, so that's it. Let's open that actually. When a CSV, it gives you loads of warnings in Excel, right? But let's open this same thing in Thonny. It's real interesting to see it actually in Thonny, and it's a really good kind of practice to be able to open it up. You can or Notepad++ is pretty good one as well. So you can see if you open it in Notepad, it's got commas. So you see the way these are just values separated by commas. What I love about this view is you can see if there's a random space in there that might be messing things up, you know? Like I can see there's a space there. I'll keep my eye on that. So, or, you know, this can also screw up your data if you've got like an extra cell here. So in Excel where they put cells, how do they know where to put the lines? How do they know to put 2011 in this and 0.9 in that? It's because secretly it's just a text file where they're separated by commas, comma separated values. Yeah, value separated commas. So that's what CSV is. There you go, lesson in the coursework. So now that I've got this guy, I'm gonna put it through Thonny, and I'm gonna automatically remove all of these things, deal with this random one here, and get rid of that star. Right, let's do this. And I gotta do this in 5 minutes because I gotta go to class. So Right, I'm gonna get I changed it from data to dirty data there. Okay, for my file path. I'm gonna be using pandas to do all of this. Pandas is Python data analysis, which I just Googled 5 minutes ago. I've always wondered for years why it was called panda. What a strange creature to evolve in spreadsheets. Okay, so then I'm going to read the file here. I need to set describe what I'm saying is no values. Like what's blankety blank. Now I could call that blankety blank there, but look, if I open up I have to go all files and just go dirty data. I need to define what that is. So now some people do it as like NaN for like no data. I'm gonna just say no data. You can set it to whatever you want, as long as you keep it consistent. You keep it here, right? Because I'm gonna need to tell it that, because I'm gonna be able to use pandas to drop rows later on for that. Okay, then I'm going to replace all euros with nothing. Yeah, and then all star signs but nothing. If you replace something with nothing, it's gone. That's kind of a strange way of deleting things, but think of it. If I replace all my life problems with no problems, I got no problems, right? Regex is regular expressions. This is a very common thing in computer science, so they have a special kind of code, and this means literally, like escape character just means literally this. But you can add or delete it if it causes bugs. At this point, I do need to just make sure that I actually make sure that this is working. So I'm gonna just save this to like clean data.csv, and then I'm gonna use data.csv to save it. And at the end, I'm gonna just print, I did the thing. That's what I have here, right? So there you go. That is almost it. If I play it, I know I really should be running this like every single time, so that if I add something and it breaks, I can immediately figure out it was that last thing I did. Don't do what I do. I'm actually kind of in a rush. I am in rush. Pun. So dirty. What am I looking for? Clean data. Yeah, here you go. Okay. It seems to have worked. It hasn't got rid of the no data. I need to just drop this whole row. The way I get Python to do that is pretty cool. Now that I've defined what no data is, it's able to detect that. And I can put this little bit of code in here. It says data equals data drop. Nah, not applicable. Drop any or no data or whatever. Right, so then I'm going to run it again to double check. Okay, and then I'm going to open it up, make sure it's all nice and clean. Dirty data, clean data. There you go. Look, the row is gone, the euros are gone, the star is gone. I've got a lovely data set ready to go, and that is basic requirement 1 ticked off.